What if you don't like to cook? I see this all the time, particularly in Hong Kong where we have a kitchen that's about the size of a postage stamp, that people don't like cooking. And here are a few tips of what you can do if you don't like to cook. Tip 1. Make a list of 5-minute meals. A few meals you can cook in no more than 5 minutes. We see people all the time, they come in, they want something extravagant and fancy and they ask for recipes. I hate fucking recipes. Why do I hate them? Because it makes things so much more complicated than they need to be. You have the best intentions that you want to create this fancy low carb, vegan, high protein lasagna, but on day 2 you're going to do the low carb, high protein carbonara with the egg substitute. How long are you going to keep this shit up? Find things that you like, you enjoy, that are simple. For me, 5 minutes in the pan for these low-fat bacon medallions were a game changer. They replaced bacon. I could have a bacon sandwich I wanted to, and it wouldn't affect my calorie balance. And because it was lower fat, I had more room for later in the day. Come up with 3 to 4 of these meals that you can alternate between that you know the macros of. Tip 2. Keep it fucking simple. It follows on from my last point, and I don't want to sound condescending with this, but we tend to make dieting really, really complicated. We think that we have to go beast mode. It has to be chicken and broccoli all the time. It has to be a grind. It has to be a hustle. And in reality, that's not the case. Keep it simple. Keep it simple with your meal choices. Keep it simple with your calories. Keep it simple with the amount of meal plans you have. Make it so if this was the easiest possible diet in the world, what would it look like? If you can make it like that, things will be so much simpler. This goes back to having those 5-minute meals, to having those emergency cooked snacks that you don't need to cook, packet chicken from M&S, packets of smoked salmon, literally open and eat, don't need to cook them, and you're good to go. Tip 3. Study your meal out options. Don't go into meals out blindly. Don't make the time where you get called out for dinner or you have a takeaway that fuck it moment. Look through Deliveroo or Foodpanda or whatever your favorite app is, and look through the menus and find what fits closely to the meal plan that you have. Finding 5 or 6 different takeout places means that you're inclusive with your diet, you're not taking it out on the people around you, and you can go to these places relatively guilt-free. I would recommend adding on a 20% calorie estimation on that, so guesstimate what those calories are. It doesn't have to be perfect, and if you can't track it, it doesn't excuse 16 slices of pizza. Find the thing close to the meal plan, make a guesstimate for your tracking, add 20%, and then have a list of a few of those to keep you going. Tip 4. Utilize protein powders and fiber supplements. People demonize protein powders as not real food and you should get real food in. But if you're crazy busy and you don't like to cook, protein powders can be an absolute lifesaver. I quite often start majority of our clients on 2 meals and 2 shakes a day. Now, does this maximize food volume? No, but for most people, cooking is such a big hurdle to overcome that I'd rather keep it simple for 2 meals where it's just a shake it down the hatch, and then only have to prepare 2 meals. If they get into that habit and they start getting hungrier, we can take one of those shakes out and add a meal back in. But don't make it harder than it needs to be. Fiber supplements also add in a little bit of satiety to those protein shakes. The protein powder I just had in the video there was something from my good pal Ansett Shapeshifters, and this is vegan protein powder, fiber supplements. You can find the link in my bio if you want to buy a tub of this. But adding a fiber supplement to your protein powder will allow you to stay full for longer and take the thought process so much out of your cooking options when you only have to think about 2 meals. So that's a few tips to turn you into a fucking Superman even if you can't cook. Not being able to cook should not be a barrier to entry to getting lean. Anyone that's followed me for a while knows that I have gotten insanely shredded and I am a terrible cook. I keep it simple, I often go for pre-cooked stuff, I make most of protein powders. These are tips that mean I have to do minimal cooking and I can still get in great shape and still relatively enjoy my diet.